Lloyd Princeton with iMatch Designers, and I'm in conversation with a good friend and colleague, Gary Trudell, with Custom Comfort Mattress, and we're in the Dream Showroom in Beverly Hills for Custom Comfort. Gary, today I want you to tell me and our viewers about your product, but what makes, not just your product, but what makes a really good night's rest.
I appreciate it very much. I mean, we are different than most. We literally manufacture. So my family's done this for a little over 25 years. Mm-hmm. We not only literally manufacture ourselves, but we resource locally. We use 100% natural materials, which is healthier, mm-hmm. Safer. It's going to last longer. Mm-hmm. The key in what we do is match the support to your comfort, because everybody's body type is different, so their support needs are differently. So our goal is to educate the consumer, figure out where they need to be comfort-wise as mm-hmm. well as support, because sometimes people think support and comfort are the same thing. They could be completely different. Mm-hmm. So it is our job to match their comfort and support together.
Okay, so let's we'll save the materials for a moment, and let's go in from a comfort perspective. How do you assess that? How, a person walks in. I know you were just talking before I showed up today. You had clients who walked in and purchasing one of your mechanical beds because this particular person has sleeping issues. So how do you assess it, and then how do you rectify it?
Really, it is basically listening to the client, listening to their needs, whether they have sleep apnea, whether they have sleeping issues, hip problems, lower back issues, shoulder issues, in kind of getting an idea of what they're accustomed to sleeping on, what they've had success with, mm-hmm. what they have not had success with, and kind of then mirror the mattress to their body type. Typically mm-hmm. somebody with a much wider shoulder who's a side sleeper, you need to have that firm support underneath, but you need that plush top. Mm-hmm. Where if you have a thinner person who's typically a back sleeper, they're typically going to go on a firmer, flatter bed. Okay. So it's a challenge, because a lot of times you're dealing with a male and a female, and their body types and body mass are completely different. So there's multiple things that play into it.
So this being America, I'm 180 pounds. Am I considered thinner or heavier?
You would be thinner. Thinner.
Thinner. Okay, good. Well, we're doing very well. You keep talking like this, Gary. So that in terms of assessing someone's needs, and then since hence the name, Custom Comfort, I know you build and manufacture the product yourself, and we were talking earlier as well about the natural the natural components that go into it. Why don't you take a few moments to talk about that? And I know because allergies are really a huge issue these days.
Natural fiber beds have always been better. Today, with the growing green market, it's kind of become trendy. Mm-hmm. Again, we've been doing this for over 25 years and have built 100% natural beds for 25 years. Mm-hmm. You're going to sleep better. It's healthier. The mm-hmm. materials are breathable. We don't have to put polyurethanes, which tend to off-gas. Mm-hmm. We don't have to put a chemical lace fire barrier when we use 100% natural wool. As we learn more, you learn about lead in paint. Mm-hmm. You learn about foams off-gassing. There's so many things in a mattress, and you're using it typically 8 hours a night. Right. You don't want it to harm your health.
Sure. So I heard wool. You also use, if I'm not mistaken, cotton. Why don't you take a moment to walk us through the I want to say the construction, but what are the different components that go into a mattress? So what are the fibers?
Typically, with most consumers are on a traditional inner spring. It's a double heat tempered coil that we resource here from the United States. Mm-hmm. We're going to insulate the top of the coil so the filling material doesn't go down between the coil. We use a cotton insulator pad mm-hmm. and then multiple layers of natural cotton. Okay. Natural cotton is the best insulator to use in a mattress because it's breathable. It doesn't mm-hmm. reflect heat. But for cotton to work, you have to hand tough the cotton. You hand tough the cotton so the cotton doesn't shift or move, and you minimize the chance of getting wear patterns or body indentations. Mm-hmm. Over the top of the beds, we like using 100% natural latex. Latex comes from sap from a rubber tree. It's open cell, so it's breathable. Mm-hmm. Dust mites, mold, or mildew don't grow in it. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to use 100% wool over the top of that, and then 100% cotton ticking. So the mattress, top and bottom, it is a completely reversible double-sided bed, but it's 100% natural all the way through from top to bottom.
Excellent. What is the #1 complaint slash concern that people seem to, when they come in, that they voice to you?
Companies, when the families owned it, they used 100% natural materials. They tufted the beds. They were double-sided. Where a modern bed, the corporate America today, they're typically all cannot flip mattresses. Most of the new beds, you cannot flip the beds. They only put padding on one side, and they use tons and tons of layers of polyurethane foam. So the biggest complaint is a body depression, island up the middle, another body depression, and simply adult weight is crushing the cell structure of the foam, and typically that's where you get the wear pattern, which typically you're going to lose the support in your lower back area.
Great. So is it fair to say then that that's probably an expected, an inherent problem when you are buying an inexpensive mattress? When you spend $300 or $400, you're going to probably get a mattress that is not going to wear properly, or certainly not last, you know, what one would expect. But I know that with Custom Comfort, there's a, if I'm not saying lifetime guarantee, or there's a very long guarantee, and your mattresses are not inexpensive, and I think that's worth addressing. Let's talk about that.
Unfortunately, it doesn't even have to be inexpensive beds. Mass-produced beds, period, are all single-sided beds. So you could spend excess of $4,000 in realistic life of a mass-produced bed today is less than 5 years.
Wow.
So, because you go from their inexpensive beds where they use a small amount of foam to their most expensive beds where they use a lot more foam, you're actually just going to get a greater indentation because, again, they're all cannot flip mattresses. They only put padding on one side. The advantage, again, of a natural fiber bed is you hand tuft it top and bottom. So it's natural fiber bed on top and bottom, so the bed is completely reversible, so you can spin and flip.
Okay, so that it sounds like the reversibility of a mattress is what actually gives it a longer life expectancy than those that you can't.
Absolutely, and not only obviously the double-sided ability to flip and rotate, simply like the ability to rotate the tires on the car. We don't have to rotate our tires, but if we do, we wear them evenly. They last longer. I
like the analogy you're going. I think it's worth repeating. You said much like we're supposed to rotate the tires on our cars, flipping a bed is part and parcel of life expectancy, life expectancy.
Absolutely. You're going to get a lot longer life because typically if there's two persons, they're typically not the same body type. So by flipping and rotating it, you wear it evenly, but as well, it's healthier.
Right.
You're going to get more support for a much longer period of time.
Excellent. One of the benefits also of dealing with a family-owned business that actually makes and manufactures its own product is that you're able to work with special and custom orders. And if I'm not mistaken, you once created a heart-shaped bed for or was it heart-shaped, or was it a very large bed for an NBA player? Is that correct? We
do a lot of custom sizes. So we do a ton of business in the oversized bedding part of it. I did a professional basketball player today. He's 7'1". We did a 7 foot by 9 foot because when you get into people of that length, you need to have a much longer bed than the average bed. A typical Cal-King is 6 feet by 7 feet. His order was 7 by 9. We do round beds, heart-shaped beds, V-berths for bows of boats. It could be a simple window seat or antique 3/4 size. We literally still build the beds by hand, so we do a lot of custom orders. And not only custom sizes, custom heights. Sometimes we have a client that has had hip replacement or they have a bad knee and we need the bed at 23 inches, from the floor to the top of the mattress at 23 inches or at 21 inches or 28 inches, depending on their height. We can adjust to that as well.
Great. And last but not least, you are locally owned and operated, but you ship internationally. You just did an order to Russia, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. We've been very, very fortunate to expand our business, and we've been shipping all over the world. So we just recently did the order, what we were talking about earlier today, to Russia. We've got an order that's going to Japan. We've got a huge order that's going to be going out to the Middle East. With the design community here in Los Angeles, it's kind of created a lot of additional business with people having homes outside the United States.
Gary, I am delighted to have you here today. I'm appreciative to be in your dream showroom in Beverly Hills, and Custom Comfort does amazing work, and you guys are good friends, so I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate it.